Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's weekly outlook video on the crypto market. In today's video, we obviously will discuss our current weekly outlook video on Bitcoin, Ethereum, but more importantly, there is a potential trade setup developing on a very interesting altcoin as well that we will discuss later on in today's video. Today is a very important video because as we can see, Bitcoin has seen a pretty significant flush over the past few hours of approximately 10%. This is the first time during this last uptrend that we have seen such a huge flush, and a lot of people got wrecked pretty hard. This is why I always tell you guys not to trade during the weekends. But more importantly, we have to wonder what is currently next on the Bitcoin price. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing when I'm looking at this chart is that we have this huge wick on the Bitcoin price. Now, I've always been telling you guys, these wicks, they act as a draw on liquidity. Because price moved too fast to the downside in this case, smart money did definitely not have the opportunity to fill all of their orders within this area. So what will they do? This wick always gets filled at least for 50% at some point, and quite often it gets filled for 100% as well. So we are going to mark out this 50% level over here, and that's one of the levels to keep an eye on already during the upcoming week. Now, secondly, we have this 100% wick fill, which is definitely a level to keep our eyes on as well. Now, why is this such an important level? Because people that are currently longing the Bitcoin price without any type of confirmation, where they're going to put their stop beneath this wick. And that is why also the bottom of this wick is quite an important level to keep our eyes on. Now, on top of that, today it's Monday. If this remains the low of the day, this is also going to be Monday's low. Okay, definitely something to keep our eyes on as well, because we always know that we want to play the liquidity from Monday low towards Monday high during the rest of the week. So the first thing that I would like to suggest to you guys today, and trust me, listen to me when I tell you this, don't take any trade today. Wait for Monday's range to develop and wait at least until tomorrow before you take any type of trade. Now, the second thing that I noticed when I'm looking at this Bitcoin chart is that we have been seeing a bearish liquidity sweep over here, followed by a break of structure over here. So we got a bearish shift of structure on a 4-hourly time frame. Is this something that you blindly want to long right now, targeting higher levels? Obviously, the daily trend is still towards the upside, but do keep in mind the 4-hourly time frame is seeing a confirmed shift of structure to the downside. Is this something that you blindly want to long towards new yearly highs with your stop beneath this low and target new yearly highs without any type of confirmation? Obviously not. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. But something that we have to keep in mind is that the weekly candle has no wick to the upside or whatsoever. Okay, and that is making me quite bullish on this weekly candle. Okay, usually these green candles, they have these wicks to the downside and then they expand higher. Over here last week is where we have a flat weekly candle to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to mark out this flat weekly candle, and I'm also going to mark out this weekly fair value gap over here. If we now move back to the 4-hourly time frame, we see something quite interesting, because what we can actually see is that this low that we put in overnight was actually a front run of this weekly fair value gap as well, and also a front run of that flat weekly bottom of the candlestick last week. So my current view on Bitcoin is that yes, we might get a little bit of a pullback towards the upside, but I think we are going to fill this wick for 100% before a potential reversal higher. That's currently my view on the Bitcoin. Okay, and I will stick to that view no matter what. Yes, we can expand higher from here. Okay, but currently, my analysis on Bitcoin is telling me that there's a decent possibility that we are going to take out this low first, somewhere, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday, and then reverse the price back upwards. Okay, and that is definitely something to keep in mind. And what I'm always trying to tell you guys is that you always want to trade the best available setups out there. You don't want to take any trade out there. Okay, there's so many trades that you can take during the day, but you want to only take the A+ setups. And currently, my gut is telling me that the A+ setup is beneath this low over here. Now, something interesting as well is that the 200 EMA and the 200 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame, which we haven't tested a single time since the huge uptrend started over here, are aligning perfectly with that weekly fair value gap and below Monday's low. So definitely something to keep our eyes on as well. Now these weekly fair value gaps, they often get filled for 50%. Okay, what can we see? This 50% level aligns with these two EMAs, and this 50% level aligns beneath this sell side liquidity low as well. Okay, so we have sell side liquidity resting beneath these lows, as you can see, and that's also where the EQ level of this weekly fair value gap is exactly aligning. So a lot of confluences are currently lining up, guys, to get a push down, take out this sell side liquidity, take out this sell side liquidity of the current Monday low, tap into the EQ level of this weekly fair value gap and these important EMAs, and maybe reverse from there. That is definitely something to keep our eyes on. Okay, now this looks like a potential ABC correction as well, in which we have wave A, wave B, and then wave C. Wave C is always the most impulsive one and often consists out of 5 waves, in which we might count 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and then a final impulsive structure to the downside to complete wave C of this ABC correction, another confluence. Okay, so what I'm personally going to look for this week is to get another push down at some point, and I will be looking for longs when we take out the sell side liquidity, when we tap into the EQ level of the weekly fair value gap, and then I might target new yearly highs for the Bitcoin price. This might be a very, very nice swing trade for Bitcoin, and this is also my POI, where I will be looking for swing longs on Ethereum and on altcoins. But that's exactly what we are going to discuss right now. So I think the plan for Bitcoin is quite clear. If we get a little bit more of a pullback and I get low time frame confirmations, I might enter a scalp short targeting this weekly fair value gap and targeting this Monday low. And then when we tap into the weekly fair value gap and take out Monday's low, I will be looking for swing long positions over here on the Bitcoin price. Stated it already this video, only take the highest probability setups out there and don't take any traded setup out there. Now for Ethereum, also we put in a very significant week. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys again about these weeks, but we put in a huge week on Ethereum as well. Now, which is interesting is that this week bounced from this order block over here, right? But right beneath this area is where we have a very, very interesting previous resistance area over here. If I extend this to the left, we see something even more interesting. Because this previous resistance area is also this high time frame range high. Okay, so now this might be a beautiful inducement for this previous high time frame range high area. And if Ethereum is going to offer us a retest of this range high, that might be the perfect opportunity to get in on Ethereum, but also to get in on altcoins, because in this case we are also going to retest the 200 EMA and the 200 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame that are slowly approaching our area of interest as well. Just like for Bitcoin, also Ethereum have not retested the EMAs only once since starting this huge uptrend. Okay, so usually these two EMAs, when you retest them for the first time, they provide a significant bounce. Exactly, especially I mean if they line up with such an important support and resistance area, where we also have this huge breakout candle that is yet to get recovered, this huge imbalance on the 4-hourly time frame. So a lot of confluences also lining up for Ethereum to go and take out Monday's low somewhere during the week. Okay, so also Ethereum, we can see bearish sweep at the top, followed by a bearish shift in structure over here to the downside. Okay, also looking at some sort of an ABC correction in which we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5 to finish it off. Find support over here and then reverse it back to new yearly highs. Very clear plan. Try to look for swing longs over here, maybe with your invalidation over here or over here, targeting new yearly highs. That could look something like this, where you set your entry, right, set your stop loss, and target new yearly highs. And my main target remains $2,456. Okay, that offers a decent RR for a nice little high time frame swing trade. Okay. Also, we have some more sell side liquidity resting over here. So we have some beautiful inducements being formed around this key support and resistance area as well. And that is exactly what you want to see for your support and resistance area to be valid. Okay. Now, before we move to our altcoin, I quickly want to discuss Prime XBT, which is a sponsor of this video. You can see they offer copy trading. They offer global market trading, but they now also offer crypto futures trading. So definitely make sure to check them out. You can sign up through the affiliate link in our description. Now let's continue with the altcoin for today, which is FET, fetch.ai. This is an altcoin that I've been discussing in yesterday's weekly Outlook live stream in our VIP channel in our Discord server. If you want to join, also the link to our Discord server can be found in the description of this video. Now, FET does have a very clear range where we have three different pivots. Pivot 1, pivot 2, pivot 3. Deviation of the range low, deviation of the range high. Now what was interesting with this deviation of the range low, if we go on a 1 hourly time frame, is if we zoom in, that we had this bullish order block over here being formed while we swept the liquidity beneath this low and beneath this low, and while we targeted the range high over here. So this was a high probability bullish order block with a beautiful inducement being formed over here, and we had another inducement over here. So I was expecting another sweep of the range low into this bullish order block that we spotted on a 1 hourly time frame, and we did exactly that. Now, currently, you are too late to set a limit long over here, but I do still think that if fetch.ai can remain and sustain around this mid-range, around this range low area, that at some point we're going to take out the range high. Because such a quick wick above the range high is not enough to take this entire huge liquidity pool that we had resting over here, okay? I've been teaching you guys about that. We need a proper move into the liquidity pool for smart money to fill their orders. So now I expect the same for FET. I expect another push towards the liquidity pool over here, towards this order block. If we then manage to reclaim the range low, this is my long trigger if we get a shift over here, where I will market long, stop loss over here, target the range high over here. Very simple indeed, okay? So on the lower time frame, on the 1 hourly time frame, or on the 15-minute time frame, we're going to scan FET over the upcoming days. I want another push into this order block, maybe a little bit of a rejection from the range low, then people short it. We get a bullish sweep followed by a bullish shift to structure. We market long, invalidation, range high being our first target. And if we get something like this with our stop over here, target the range high, this offers a huge RR of 5.5. And this is a high probability long setup for me for FET. So wait for another push below the range low. Wait for another test of the bullish order block. If we get it with the right confirmations, we are going to enter a beautiful market long on FET. We can also check the 4 hourly time frame. The 200 EMA and the 200 moving average align with this area. So if we deviate below them once again, we will not only reclaim the range low in that case, but we will also reclaim these two very important EMAs, which gives another confluence to target the range high and for a clean invalidation below that local low. Okay, so wait for another confirmation. Don't blindly long over here without any type of confirmation, guys. We only want to enter the highest probability setups out there. And this scenario is also in confluence with expecting another dip for Bitcoin and Ethereum, followed by a reclaim, and then a full pump towards the range high. If you guys do have any questions after watching today's weekly Outlook video with our plans for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and fetch.ai, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I would appreciate it massively if you guys would like to subscribe and like this YouTube video, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday's video. Ciao, ciao.